Hello everybody, my name is Kamar and today we will be reviewing our 20th installment of Season 3 of Bubble Guppies, also our second Christmas special in the series. Season 3, Episode 20, A Very Guppy Christmas. In this episode, after Molly and Gil meet a Christmas tree farmer named Mr. Claus and his horse, no relation, Snowflake, the two Guppies get to class thinking about horses and holiday fun. Now, I really like this episode. Um, I don't think I watched it when it first aired. Trying to think about it. No, I don't think so. But on on some TV listings, I've seen it been called Xmas instead of you know what instead of Christmas. I don't exactly know I don't exactly know why. On some TV listings when growing up, I always used to see like Xmas, not Christmas. I don't, maybe it was because like whoever runs the TV guy doesn't want like, is thinking, Christ, doesn't really want the word Christ on there, which honestly, I still don't get why cartoons do that. Like Christmas, why Xmas? That does not roll off the tongue. Christmas always does. But that's just my opinion. And also, if I had to choose this episode, if I had to put this episode between Happy Holidays, Mr. Grumpfish, it may not be a shock to anybody, but I'm gonna have to pick Happy Holidays, Mr. Grumpfish, because not only I watched it when it first aired, but I just have sentimental value over it for some reason. I have sentimental value for it, and no offense, this episode's not bad, no means. It's really good. I like it, but like I feel like I feel like if I had to do it, it's not even just because it's season. It's like episode order. I would watch this episode. I will watch this episode after I watch Happy Holidays, Mr. Grumpfish. In my opinion, if you choose this episode over the season 2 Christmas special, that's totally okay. That's fine with me, I'm just saying my personal opinion, and I hope you can respect that. But yeah, and I also like the Guppies winter attire. We even see them color coordinated, which I like that. And I also like seeing the hats in the little fishes hats in the title card, which you're looking at right now, which is really cute. So, and also I also wanted to I also wanted to review this episode in December, but I already did that for Happy Holidays, Mr. Grumpfish last year. But hey, haven't you heard of Christmas in July? I wanted to say that just for this review. I did. Also, I promise, so we can get to actual plot. This episode features the voice of Beau Bridges, who voices Mr. Claus, which he's in a lot of Me TV shows, that TV channel, which I want to shame to admit, I do like watching that channel, and so does my grandmother. He was on Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, and My Three Sons, and another Nickelodeon property he was on was The Wild Thornberrys. So, for real now on to this episode. He does a good job of voicing Mr. Claus. He does. He really does. And, everybody's, I really like the Christmas music that goes on in the background of the episode. Molly and Gil, they make it to like a Christmas tree farm where we see two lobsters get in their tree, and they notice a horse. Her name is Snowflake. She's so pretty. She really is pretty. And they start petting petting her, and Mr. Claus explains to them that if there was snow, Snowflake could take us on a sleigh ride, but it's not snowing yet, and you can't have a sleigh without snow. And he also when he's talking to his workers, they call him Mr. Claus, and Gil says, "Mr. Claus? Like Santa Claus?" And he says, "No, Lobster Claus." Which is a good way to cover that up. I say cover it up because towards the end. And they make it to school. They're pretending they're riding on horses, and Mr. Grouper said, "It looks like we have some horses visiting us today." And they explain that they actually saw a horse. And her name was Snowflake. And Mr. Grouper also says that we also have to it's about time that we have to get our tree. And Una explains that she's gonna make a horse ornament, and that gets us talking about horses. horses, and Molly also says that she likes horses as well mainly because of their long, pretty hair. Yeah, you would like something for long, pretty hair because you have long, pretty hair as well, my dear. I mean, she ain't no Rapunzel, but I'll take it. I've always wanted pink hair too. I always did. Funnily enough, my mom, whenever she washes my hair, she literally has a conditioner and a shampoo bottle, and the literal name is Mane and Tail Conditioner and Shampoo, and there's a little horse. There's a horse on the bottles. So if that doesn't scream horse hair factor, when it's like blowing in the wind, I don't know what does. And then we have our question segment about horses, and then we have our pop song on a holiday ride, it's really, really catchy. I like it. It's really catchy. But honestly, if we're talking Christmas songs, it's good. It's really good. But between you and me, I would pick Tonight Is a Happy Holiday any day. But my personal opinion. And then we have our shop segment with Dima and Una, who she has a horse. Her name is Strawberry. So cute. She wants to win in a race, and we have to help Dima sort out the horses. And we even have a little Tiny is Mighty here because Strawberry ends up winning the race, which is really nice. And she even gets some yummy hay as a treat. And we also have a gag there was like with Dima, she has like a pretty like brown stallion. I think it's a stallion. I don't really know my horse types. I think I want to say Snowflake might be a dapple because of like the horses with like the dots on them. I think that's what they're called. Maybe I think so. Maybe I could be wrong. But she has this horse and she's like, "In the right nay," and the horse is showing up, and the little horse neighs in the stable, and then we have our lunch joke, and Nani got macaroni and cheese. If you guys are thinking the same thing right now, you can go ahead and sing it because I'll sing it first. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and called it macaroni. I don't know the rest of the words, but the macaroni part always stuck with me. But, yeah. And then we have a Molly and Gil segment, which honestly, this one might be my favorite one of the season because it's just so funny. Gil has Gobi and Dima as his horse, and he calls it Elmer. No resemblance to glue. But they at one point they say, "Hi, Molly," and then he said, "No, you guys are supposed to make horse noises." And then the minute he mentions, "Let's go for a sleigh ride," Dima immediately runs off, leaving Gobi behind. And then he's like, "Hi," and he's like, "Oh," and then he goes after her. And then Gil's like, "Wait, Gobi, Elmer, you forgot the sleigh." Oh, it's too much fun. Oh God, we haven't gotten this type of hilarity. One of my favorite Molly and Gil segments is the ones where we don't have the little fish, we have the characters themselves. That doesn't make it feel like these skits are just one-dimensional. It's not just about Molly, Gil, and the little fish and Bubble Puppy. Which is nothing wrong with that, but I love it when they also include the Guppies. Why do you think I raved at the end of Can You Dig It? And I also laughed a lot at the end of Sir Naughty the Nice, where Gobi, Dima, and Una pretended to be the knight in shining armor, make Gil think it was alive. I just love that. I love it so much. And then Una invites Molly into the classroom. Una will join in on the skit later, saying that they're making decorations for the Christmas tree. And Mr. Grouper's pretending to be a horse sled for Molly and Una. And Gobi's making a sleigh. Gil's making a horse, and Nani's making a horseshoe. And then Gil says, "Horses have shoes?" And Nani explains that they do to help to keep their feet safe when they're running fast. And then all of a sudden it starts snowing outside. And Molly thinks that if it's snowing enough, Snowflake might be able to take them on a sleigh ride. And we get to all see their winter attire when they're going outside. And I like how Mr. Grouper says, "Bundle up," because it's gonna be cold outside and it's snowing. It's gonna be cold outside and it's snowing. And I like that in the beginning, even though it wasn't snowing yet, they still had on like Molly and Gil. They still had on like bundle. They were still bundled up, you know. So that's good. That's very good. And then we have our story segment, Princess Patrol, where Gobi. What do I keep on saying, Gobi? Well, technically he is in the story, so I'm not wrong for saying his name by accident, because he was on the radio. He was talking to Molly on. I was about to say Molly and Dima were on Princess Patrol, and their job is protecting the magical creatures of the forest, which I love that. It's not just all about being being proper. Like, princesses in this story, they have a purpose, which I like that. I do. I really do. And I also like the royal horses as well. But Gobi tells them to keep an eye out for the shoer, and the poor horses at one point they're going up this hill, and it looks very painful. But painful. And at one point, Molly says, "Let's just walk on the soft grass. Let's walk on the soft grass." And the Sheward, he's basically like a gnome. And at one point, he scares off the horses, and they have to get them back. And I also like in the story how we also have to find where they were by footprints, which I like that. They had something similar to this in Yo Gabba Gabba in one sketch, which I like that as well. And at one point, the Shooter shows up again, and my girl Dima, she's ready to do something. She's getting aggravated. One thing about my girl, she know how to stand up for herself. She's like, okay, that's enough. And he keeps on saying, shoo. And Dima says, no, I'm not going to shoo. And then she said, wait, what? And at one point, early in the story, when Gobi mentions the shooter, her voice tone when she's like, oh boy. I love my girl. I love my girl. Clocky. I love my girl. Oh, I love her so much. And then the shooter explains that, I was saying shoe because your shoes need horses, which makes sense. And I forgot. They also had to get a unicorn as well. I'm sorry. How could I not mention a unicorn? Unicorns are like one of my favorite mythical creatures. And it turns out that the unicorn was with the shoer all along, because the shoer's unicorn also wears shoes, and he offers to put shoes on the princess's horses, which was really nice. And we can't put this antagonist. We can't put this villain as an antagonist. We can't. He's a misunderstood villain. The Guppies misunderstood it. Also Dima. Mostly Dima. Mostly the two girls. But mostly Dima. But in all serious case, he was a great one-off character. I liked him. And then we have our dance song. It's a really good song, about riding horses, like, ride, giddy up, let's go. It's really good. I like it. It's nothing special, but it's fun. It gets you moving, gets your arms moving, like you're riding, like you're riding the range, Riding the range, riding. Okay, I'll stop before I get deja vu. Oh, God. Okay, and then we have another Molly and Gil segment. Once again, Gil with Elmer. She finds the other half. Technically Molly found the other half before Gil showed up. And it was Dima, the front. And then Gil's like, where's your other half? And then Gobi shows up and he's the same front half too. And he's like, here I am. I want to be in the front too. And then Gil says, but where's the other half? And then Gobi says, we can't find her. And I was like, at one point, when I first watched it, I was like, what do you mean by her? Do people call the back of the horse her? And then Kilo Una shows up, and it looks like she has like a blanket on top of her head with the sleigh in the back, and she's pretending to be the back of the horse, and she's like, clippity clop, nay! And then he was like, there she is! And then they all run out chasing her. And then Gil's like, you guys, wait for me! Oh, I love it so much. I love it. Oh, this is one of my favorite segments of the season. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's too much fun. Too much fun. Oh, God. I'm good. And then his field trip segment, it's finally time to get their tree. It's finally time to get their tree. And everybody's getting to meet Snowflake and petting her. And it's just really cute. And then Mr. Grouper finally has his tree. And they tell everybody that it's time to go. And they have to get back home because Bubble Puppy is all by himself. Which, re-listening to that now. When I had my dog, my main problem that I have, whenever he came to visit me, whenever he was at my Nana's house, whenever me and my Nana went out to do something, he was the only one there. Whenever he came to visit me, and my parents had to go to work, and I had to go to school, one thing I did not like was that he was there by himself. And I could not stop thinking that my baby was just there by himself. Nobody there. No one there. He was lonely by himself. So hearing that now, I was like, and even at one point in the field trip, Gil's like, we have to get home to Bubble Puppy. He's all by himself. Which, Gil, you're speaking truth, man. That's how I felt about my dog when he was still here. Like, I have to get home to my baby. He's by himself. We have to get home. My baby. Like, seriously, I got so worried whenever we would spend all night. No, not all night. I'm tripping. All day. And it would start to turn to night. And I would just, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, please, let's get home quicker. My baby's getting dark. My baby's by himself. I don't want him to feel like he's going to spend the night by himself. Which, yeah, I started getting the feels when Gil said that. And also, Mr. Grouper said we better get home because the snow's starting to come down really quickly. And also, and everybody's saying goodbye to Mr. Claus and Snowflake. And everything's going good. They're driving, and then Mr. Grouper's car, he gets stuck. And then Guppy and Gil suggest, well, Guppy first says, if we had a sleigh, we can get back quickly. And then Gil said, or a sleigh. And then they start hearing sleigh bells in the distance. And then they realize it's Mr. Claus and Snowflake. And they're able to get them home. And with his sleigh. And I also like how Mr. Claus, he actually uses his actual claws to get Mr. Grouper's tree off the top of his car. And he said that we can come back for your car in the morning, which is nice. And then, and I also like when he said, is everybody aboard my one-horse open sleigh? Which leads them into singing Jingle Bells. Which again, I love me a cartoon that sings Jingle Bells. I love that. And they sound really nicely. They did. But once again, not saying the song is bad. I'm just saying, everybody knows the song Jingle Bells by heart. But like I said before, the song is good and all. But I would still pick Happy Holidays from season 2 any day. Just saying. But they're able to make it back home safely to Bubble Puppy. And I also like how we see that he has a little doggy door that he can go out of, which is really sweet. And he was waiting for them at the window. And he snuggles into Gil's arms, which I'm getting flashbacks from my dog whenever it came back to my baby. I did. And it's so sweetly, while Molly's thanking Mr. Claus and Snowflake for getting them home, she asked Mr. Grouper, do you think Mr. Claus can come and help decorate the tree with us? And he says, and Mr. Claus, so sweetly, he says, no thanks, Molly. It's very nice of you. But me and Snowflake got a big night ahead of us. You just get in there and make that tree beautiful. And she says, okay. Which is really sweet that she wanted to invite him. Because I mean, it's only fair. Why wouldn't you want to invite the person that helped you get back home for Christmas? I personally would. But like he said, he got a big night ahead of him. A big holly jolly night. Because immediately when Mr. Grouper says, thank you, Mr. He's gone. And Naughty and Mr. Grouper, they go back inside before thinking anything else. Door closes. Bubble Puppy's the only one outside. He's sniffing hoof tracks. And then it ends off. Like, there's no more hoof tracks. Like he didn't trot away with Snowflake. Instead, we hear a ho ho, Merry Christmas up in the sky. And Bubble Puppy, I think he's thinking the same thing that we're all thinking. Could Mr. Claus be their version of Santa Claus? I'm not the one to exceed expectations, but if we had to make a guess, it's possible. It's possible. But that's for you all to decide. So anyway, last Molly and Gil segment. Molly and Gil is really happy that they got to ride on a sleigh. And at first we see, I want to say that's Nene from earlier, and from early in the shop segment. And at first Gil, he thinks it's Guppy and Dima, but he's actually genuinely, surprisingly very calm around the horse. Because he thinks it's Elmer, and he actually pets it, and he's not scared at first. But then when he says, "Would you like an apple?" Guppy and Dima say, "Yes, please." And then he looks at the other side, and he realizes that's his Elmer. And he says, "Who's this Elmer?" And it's a real horse. And then they causes Gil to jump out of his fins, flipping. And at least the actual quote-unquote real Elmer, real horse, gets the apple at the end. So overall, this was a fun Christmas episode. I really enjoyed it. It was really, really, really fun. The whole, like I said, if I had to choose, honestly, like I said before, I would honestly pick Happy Holidays, Mr. Grumpfish, and then watch this episode next. You know, I just prefer it a teensy-weensy bit more than this one. For sentimental value. You know? For sentimental value. And I mainly the best parts of this episode was the kindness out of Mr. Claus, the exceeding expectations, how he could probably be the real Santa Claus in their universe. And just the funny Molly and Gil sketches were mostly Guppy and Dima stealing the show for me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give this episode a solid 9. It was really good. I liked it. I really, really liked it. It was really good. Now, for all of you who know about this show, you would think that we're finally at 20 episodes. The season's over, right? Well, for those of you who've seen season 3, you would be wrong, because season 3 is our longest season in the series. And that means we only have 6 more episodes to go in the season. And another day before I sign off of here, there will be no reviews on this channel for a few days, because if you guys see been keeping up with my community posts, you wouldn't be knowing that I'm going on vacation. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know. I also said this on my little Einstein's review, but I just thought I'd say this on both reviews just to be sure, because I don't want anybody being scared, being worried that why isn't she posting, even though I put up a community post. I just want to be absolutely sure that everybody gets the word, gets the message, however you say it. But yeah, so the next review is you're gonna have to be patient for the next review. So I don't know when this is gonna be uploaded. Maybe on the same day as my little Einstein's review. Maybe so, maybe yes. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But what I do know is for y'all to tune into me next time, because we'll be reviewing our next batch of episodes, 6 extra episodes of the season, because like I said, season 3 is the longest season in the series. Season 3, episode 21, Puddle Ball. See you all next time.